Well, it's a beautiful morning, and Ben and myself, there he is.
Morning!
Well, we're heading out to do the King Alfred Way. So we're cycling from Cirencester out through South Cerney along the old railway track to pick up the trail at the north side of the trail, just south of Swindon. So picking up the Ridgeway and heading for Streatley today. So the King Alfred Way itself is about 220 miles, and we've got about 25 miles to get to it. So next few days look pretty nice weather-wise. Well, we're on the last bit of track. It's obviously an old railway line before we pick up the Ridgeway trail, which is part of the King Alfred Way up there. So we've made it to the Ridgeway. Woo-hoo! And the start of the King Alfred Way on the northern bit. So we're just going to ride up onto the Ridgeway now and head for Goring-on-Thames. We're just climbing out of Ogbourne St George. Well, straight into the first climb of the trip. Not a bad one. Fairly decent gradient. Well, we're on top of the Ridgeway. Doing a lovely few miles. Fairly sort of flat and undulating.
It's amazing.
So just on the side of the Ridgeway here is the first interesting little stop called Wayland Smithy Long Barrow. Let's go inside.
One barrel chamber.
So these are the burial chambers. Pretty cool.
There you are.
So the burial chamber actually goes all the way that way as well.
Yeah.
Ben will explain.
Oh no, I can't. So the burial chamber goes all the way there from an old Iron Age fort, and it was built on the original one, and then it's been extended over the years until you've got the detached twin burial chamber for the King and Queen.
There we go. I'm not sure he made that up, but it's it was pretty impressive knowledge. Just coming down to the Buckingham White Horse. So we're just stood at the very top of the White Horse. Can't really see much of it from here, but there's the top of it. You can see the eye.
Aye aye.
Here's our ancient monuments correspondent, Ben, to give you some more information.
So right, here we are. So here we've got the trig point, which is the highest point of White Horse Hill. Just down there is the White Horse, which we just saw, and then to your right you will see the ramparts of Uppington Castle, which is an Iron Age fort, which was built because it's at the highest point. And you can see it's probably about 200 metres circumference.
Well, we're on the white roads on the Ridgeway, the chalk roads. A bit like the Stradivari in Italy. But not totally smooth, but pretty good on a gravel bike. On the front of the So, end of the first day, and we're in Streatley, which is just next to Goring-on-Thames at the YHA. We're even too early to check in. Well, here we are, start of day 2. Had a really good feed and sleep in the youth hostel last night. They've just done us breakfast. Starting the day on day 2, drop down through Goring on Thames. So we're just following the trail along the River Thames.
Can't use the footage if we walk.
Well, that was ridiculously steep. Had to push that one. Hartley Steps it's called. So we're just getting into Reading, following the Thames.
Beautiful bridge. Really quite stunning.
So we're about 25 miles in on day 2, picking up some nice trails, and it's been fairly flattish today so far. I'm sure there'll be some hills coming up when we hit the South Downs Way. So we just stopped to have a bit of lunch in Farnham, just a sandwich and stuff, and headed out into the woods. A couple of big climbs. That's a beautiful day. So we're on some quite sandy tracks going through these woods. Here he is.
Just a navigator.
Just got lost again. Lots of trails in this woods.
Dave got lost again.
Now we can see where we're going. So that was us going across Frensham Common. Absolutely beautiful.
Where are we?
We're on the South Downs Way at last. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Nice hill. Very smooth. Your billiard table of hills.
Just that final bit today. So here we are on the start of day 3. We had a massive day yesterday, 91 miles, very tough last 20 miles, and we didn't get into camp till about 8 o'clock in the evening, so it was dark, and then we had to rush to the pub before they stopped serving food. So pitched the tents about 10 o'clock last night. How was that, Ben?
If you think I'm sexy and you like my body, come on baby, let me know. Very good.
Don't let me know. Well, you can comment on it. But yeah, nice little campsite. Just getting things dried out hopefully before we set off. So a big old climb from the campsite back up onto the South Downs Way, which is this section of the King Alfred Way, and South Downs Way now will go all the way to Winchester. Oh, steep old climb, about 7 or 8 miles in. Got a long one too. Big climb. So we made it to the top of Beacon Hill. Big old climb, but absolutely lovely at the top. We just stopped about 8 to 10 miles before we get to Winchester at this beautiful little cafe at Holden's Farm Camping and Cafe area. Absolutely superb. Had a pasty, vegetarian one, and it was superb. Filling up with porridge as well. So just rolling into Winchester. And here he is, King Alfred. The whole reason behind this tour and this route. So King Alfred, King of Wessex and King of England.
Here we are, we're about 42 miles in and we've got light maintenance going on. Dave ate a bit too much last night and it keeps deflating his rear tyre.
Oh, steep climb this one. I'm surrounded by sweet corn.
So we are, we're about 20 miles from the end of day 3 and we've had more malfunctions on Dave's tyre.
Sealant stopped working, ran out of sealant, so we've now putting a tube in.
But we've stopped in a rather beautiful place, as you can see. It is another absolutely stunning evening and we've even got a tractor doing some ploughing.
Okay, put a tube in the tyre, hope that's going to work. There's basically no sealant left in my tubeless tyre, so that's the way it's going down all the time. Well, we're about 61, 62 miles in today. 7 or 8 miles left to go. Beautiful evening. sun's still shining and we should get there in plenty of time before it gets dark. Well, it's a beautiful evening. I can't see anything in front of me because I'm being blinded by the sun. Hey, watch out! I think we're safe. The red flag's is not flying, so there shouldn't be any artillery shells flying over our heads. Nice. Just approaching the campsite. Beautiful evening. So here we are at the start of day 4, our last day. We're going to be finishing off the route, 30 miles, and then heading home another 30 miles. And we're just having our luxury breakfast. So a bit of a lazy start this morning. Reached around campsite, had breakfast. It's the last day, so it doesn't really matter. Beautiful old trees on this little trail.
So, on these bikepacking trips, it's not just all hard work, we also have some fun.
Can I stay here all day?
No, you can't. It's time to get going, you silly little child.
Okay, we're back on Salisbury Plain. Red flags are out, so we're staying to the outside of those. But guess what?
You can hear the booms.
What, the baboons?
Oh, I think they actually might be orangutans.
Oh, not baboons, you mean boons.
Oh, yes.
So Ben's now got a slightly flat back tyre. Hopefully it was just a puncture and resealed. Pump it up again, but we're right on the edge of the artillery zone, next to the red flag. So we're now still on Salisbury Plain, heading north. Unfortunately for us, there's a bloody strong northeasterly wind, which you're only going to have all day. And we picked up one of the local mountain bikers, giving us a guided tour.
Morning, nice to see you.
So that's Colin.
From Devices, yeah.
From Devices, and he's giving us all the lowdown on where the artillery shells are going to land and where they're not going to land. So the army boys over there, we can hear some shells going off. We're right on the very edge of it here. So Colin's gone off on his mountain bike. We're heading off down the track down that way, heading towards the Vale of Pusey, which is over there, and that's the direction we're going in. We're just going to drop off Salisbury Plain now, and there's lots of gunfire going on. Attention! Wait it!
Left wheel, mark!
He'd never make it. Time for a little snack by the canal, just outside All Cannings. Massive headwind, we've got about a 120 metre climb, about a mile long, heading over that way. Oh, fierce headwind, and 12–13%. Here we are, made it to the top. Even windier up here. So wow, you get a pretty good view all around from here. It's so bloody windy! Okay, we've just come across the Longstone Cove and the old Stone Age avenue that led up to Avebury. And the two stones that are left are known as Adam and Eve. So we arrived in Avebury and we're having a look around the stone circle. So this is actually the avenue of stones which runs into Avebury. And another hill. Got to be one of the last ones of the trip. Well, we're back on the Ridgeway for a while now, and just got a few more miles to do on the Ridgeway. Drop down to Ogbourne St George, to the point where we started the ride from. Well, the King Alfred's Way ride, and then we'll complete the circuit and then head back home to Cirencester. Well, it's still ridiculously windy, especially up here on top of the Ridgeway, blowing straight at us. So we're just heading up to Avebury Castle, another old monument, and it looks very steep. Well, impressed myself there. In fact, we both made it up. So we've just made it back to Ogbourne St George, which is where we started the King Alfred Way. So we've just completed it on day 4. Woohoo!
It has been a pretty cool couple of days, 4 days.
4 days.
And now we've only got 26 miles back home and then we're done. Nice one, Dave.
Excellent, Dan.
Enjoyed riding with you
Excellent,
again.
Dan. Just a few little funny moments.
Few funny moments. But
yeah,
definitely worth it.
Superb
Can't
trip.
wait for the next one.
Superb trip.